The freeway outside Santa Monica, California, was unusually quiet that night. It was just past 8:30 p.m., the kind of evening where the ocean breeze cooled the asphalt but the city still hummed with distant life. I had just finished a 12-hour shift at the auto shop, grease under my nails, exhaustion in my bones, and all I wanted was to get home, shower, and forget the world existed. That's when I saw her. A dark blue Audi A4, hazard lights blinking like a silent SOS, parked awkwardly on the shoulder near an off-ramp. Most drivers sped past without slowing down. In Los Angeles, people mind their own business, especially at night. I almost did too. Almost. But then I saw her standing outside the car, phone pressed to her ear, frustration written all over her posture. She wore a fitted black dress, heels sinking slightly into the gravel. Even from a distance, I could tell she wasn't just annoyed. She was panicking. I sighed, flicked on my turn signal, and pulled over. I didn't know it then, but that decision would change my life. I stepped out of my truck, hands raised slightly so I didn't startle her. "Hey," I called out calmly. "Car trouble?" She turned, eyes wide at first, then softening as she realized I wasn't a threat. Her phone slipped from her ear. "Yes," she said, exhaling sharply. "And of course it happens tonight of all nights." I glanced at the Audi. "What's going on with it?" "It just died," she replied. "No warning. No weird sounds. Just shut off." She shook her head. "I'm already late." Late. I noticed how carefully done her hair was, how her makeup was flawless but rushed, like she'd done it under pressure. This wasn't just any night. "Blind date?" I asked instinctively. Her eyebrows lifted. "How did you?" "You're dressed like someone who didn't plan to stand on the side of a freeway," I said with a small smile. She laughed despite herself. "Guilty." I crouched near the hood. "Mind if I take a look?" "Please," she said immediately. "I don't even care if I miss the date at this point. I just want the car to start." I popped the hood and scanned the engine bay. Battery terminals. Alternator belt. Fuses. It didn't take long. "Loose battery connection," I said. "Probably vibrated loose." Her shoulders dropped in relief. "That's good, right?" "It's great," I replied. 5 minutes. She leaned against the guardrail, watching me work. I could feel her eyes on me, curious but guarded. "So," she said after a moment, "are you a mechanic or just a really helpful stranger?" "Mechanic," I answered. 10 years. "That explains the confidence," she teased. I tightened the terminal, tested the connection, then stepped back. "Try it now." She slid into the driver's seat and turned the key. The engine roared back to life. Her mouth fell open. "Oh my God," she breathed. "You're a miracle worker." I closed the hood and wiped my hands on a rag. "Just doing my job." She stepped out again, smiling, really smiling now. "I don't even know your name," she said. "Ethan." "I'm Claire." Claire. The name fit her. She glanced at her watch and groaned softly. "I'm officially late now." "Sorry," I said. "Didn't mean to sabotage your love life." She studied me for a second, like she was weighing something in her mind. Then she surprised me. "Well," she said slowly, "you did save me tonight." I shrugged. "Happy to help." "No," she insisted. "I mean really saved me." She stepped closer. Close enough that I could smell her perfume, subtle, warm, expensive. "My reward?" I joked lightly. "A thank you?" She smiled mischievously. "Better." Before I could react, she leaned in and kissed me. Not rushed. Not awkward. Just, intentional. The world seemed to pause for half a second. Then she pulled back, eyes bright. "That," she said softly, "is your reward." I stood there stunned. She reached into her purse, pulled out a small card, and pressed it into my hand. "We'll meet again," she said. "I promise." Then she slid into her Audi, waved once, and drove off, hazard lights finally off, taillights disappearing into the night. I stared at the card. Just a name. A number. And 3 words written beneath it. "Don't forget me." I didn't. I never could. I didn't move for a full minute after Claire drove away. The freeway noise returned slowly, like the world had been holding its breath with me. Cars rushed past. Wind brushed my jacket. And yet, everything felt different, like something important had just slipped into my life without asking permission. I looked down at the card in my hand again. Claire. Phone number. Don't forget me. I smiled to myself. As if that was possible. The drive back to my apartment felt shorter than usual, but my thoughts were loud. Her kiss wasn't impulsive. It wasn't drunk or playful. There was intention behind it, confidence. Claire had known exactly what she was doing, and that made it harder to forget. At home, I tossed my keys on the counter, sat on the edge of the couch, and stared at my phone. Should I text her? She said we'll meet again, not text me tonight. But then again, she gave me her number. I typed a message. Deleted it. Typed again. Finally, I sent. Ethan, glad your car made it. Hope the date goes better than the breakdown. I placed the phone face down and walked into the shower, telling myself not to overthink it. When I came back out, my phone was buzzing. Claire, funny thing, the date didn't matter anymore. I read it twice. Then once more. Ethan, that bad? 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Claire, he was nice. Polite. Predictable. Claire, but I couldn't stop thinking about the guy who fixed my car. My chest tightened slightly. Ethan, careful. That guy smells like motor oil and works too much. Claire, even better. I laughed out loud. Later, she told me what happened. The restaurant in West Hollywood had soft lighting and overpriced wine. Her date was already seated when she arrived, checked shirt, rehearsed smile, resume style conversation. He asked what I did for work before asking my favorite color, she said over the phone that night. I leaned back against my couch, phone pressed to my ear. Red flag? More like beige, she replied. Safe. Boring. She paused. And then he leaned forward and said, "So, how was your day?" And all I could see was you under the hood of my car, she admitted softly. I swallowed. We talked for over an hour. About work. About how she moved to LA 5 years ago chasing something she couldn't name. About how I fixed cars for a living but never fixed my own loneliness. There was comfort in her voice, like we'd skipped the awkward getting to know you phase and landed somewhere deeper. So, she said eventually, do you always stop for stranded women on freeways? Only the ones on their way to blind dates, I replied. She laughed. Good. There was a pause. Then she said it. Can I see you again? My answer came too fast. Yes. We agreed to meet 2 days later. Not dinner. Not drinks. Coffee. She chose a small cafe in Venice Beach, tucked between a yoga studio and a surf shop. Casual. Neutral territory. I arrived early. She arrived 10 minutes late. Of course. She wore jeans this time, a soft sweater, hair loose around her shoulders. No heels. No panic. Just Claire. When our eyes met, something warm passed between us, recognition. She smiled slowly. So, she said, no broken cars today. Disappointing, I joked. I was hoping for another kiss. She stepped closer, lowering her voice. That wasn't a roadside thing. Oh. That was a you thing. We talked for hours. She told me she worked in interior design, flipping houses for clients who never lived in them. I told her about the shop, about how my dad taught me everything I knew before he passed. Her expression softened when I mentioned him. You don't talk about him like he's gone, she said gently. He's not, I replied. He's just quieter. She reached across the table and touched my hand. The cafe noise faded. For the first time in years, I felt seen. As the sun dipped lower, Claire glanced at her phone. I should go, she said, a hint of reluctance in her voice. Already? She nodded. There's something I haven't told you yet. I waited. She hesitated. Next time, she said finally. Not today. I respected that. She leaned in, kissed my cheek this time, slower, softer. We did meet again, she whispered. As she walked away, I knew one thing for certain. That broken car wasn't an accident. It was the beginning. I replayed Claire's last words in my head all night. There's something I haven't told you yet. Those words have weight when they come from someone who already feels important, someone you didn't expect to matter this much, this fast. I told myself not to overthink it. But I did anyway. We texted constantly. Good mornings. Late night thoughts. Random photos, my hands covered in grease, her sketching designs on a legal pad. The more we talked, the clearer it became, this wasn't just chemistry. It was comfort. Still, there was something she held back. I could feel it in the pauses, the way her tone shifted when conversations got too close to the future. 3 days after our coffee date, she asked if I wanted to meet again. This time, she chose the place. It was a rooftop bar in downtown Los Angeles, overlooking streets glowing like veins of light. Classy but not pretentious. The kind of place where people came to celebrate endings and beginnings at the same time. She was already there when I arrived, standing near the railing. Black jacket. Red lipstick. Confidence restored. You clean up well, she said, smiling. You look like trouble, I replied. She laughed. I am. We ordered drinks. The city buzzed beneath us. And then, without easing into it, she said. I'm not completely single. The words hit harder than I expected. I kept my voice calm. Okay. She turned to face me. I ended something recently. But it's not clean yet. I nodded slowly. You're being honest. That matters. She searched my face, as if looking for disappointment. You're not angry? She asked. No, I said truthfully. I'd rather know now than later. Relief crossed her features. She told me about Mark. 5 years together. Shared apartment. Shared plans. Shared silence toward the end. He wanted stability, she said. I wanted growth. Those don't have to be opposites, I said. They were with him. She looked out over the city. He proposed last year, she added. That one I didn't expect. And? I said no, she said softly. That's when everything cracked. I took a slow breath. So where does he fit in now? He doesn't, she said firmly. Not in my heart. But then she hesitated. He just doesn't know that yet. I could have walked away. Any sane guy would have. But I didn't feel like a placeholder. I felt like something new. I'm not here to compete with ghosts, I said carefully. But I won't pretend I don't care. Her eyes met mine. That's why I'm telling you, she said. Because I don't want to start anything built on half-truths. The honesty only pulled me closer. I'm still here, I said. She exhaled, tension releasing from her shoulders. Good, she whispered. The music softened. The city breathed. Claire stepped closer. This time, she said, I want you to kiss me first. I didn't hesitate. The kiss was deeper than before, slower, layered with emotion. Not rushed. Not reckless. When we pulled apart, she rested her forehead against mine. This feels dangerous, she murmured. Only if you're afraid of falling, I replied. She smiled sadly. I think I already am. As if summoned by the universe, her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen. Her smile vanished. It's him, she said. I didn't ask her to ignore it. She answered. I couldn't hear his words, only her expressions changing. Yes. I know. No, I didn't say that. Mark, please don't come here. Her eyes flicked to me. Too late. I'm already downstairs, she said quietly. The call ended. She looked at me, panic returning, not fear, but guilt. I'm sorry, she said. I didn't think. It's okay, I interrupted. We'll handle it. She nodded. But as the elevator chimed somewhere below us, one thing was clear. The past was about to meet the present. And nothing would be the same after that.